अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बरहापीडं नटवरवप कर्णयो कर्णिकारम् बिभ्रद्वासः कनककपिशं वैजयन्तीं च मालां रन्ध्रान्वेणुं रधरसुधया पूरयन् गोपवृन्दे वृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणं प्राविशद्गीतकीर्तनं। श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे, 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 ओ श्री राधे 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 गोविंद राधे, श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे, श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे, श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे, ओ श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे, श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे, श्री राधे 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 श्री राधे, श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे, ओ श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 श्री राधे राधे श्री राधे हरि बोल श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 वर्णानामर्त्यसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारं वन्दे वाणी विनायकम् ओम रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। जय सुमिरत सिद्धि हो गणनायक करिबर धरना ग्रह सो बुद्धि राशि शुभ गुण मुख ही वाचा पंगुच्छवै गिरिवर गहना जासु कृपा सुदया प्रभु सकल कलिमल गहना नील सरोरुषा तरुण अरुण वारिज नयन करो सुमन सदा क्षीर सागर शयन कुंद इंदु समदे उमारमन करुणारन जाहिदीन परने करो कृपा मर्दन मयन बंद गुरु पदकं बंद गुरु पदकं कृपा सिंधु नररूप महामोह तमको जास बचन रवि कर जास बचन रवि कर। बोले सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। महानुभाव पूज्य पंडितगण, विप्र मंडली, महानुभाव, भक्त वत्सल, worshipable pundits, devotees of God, the divine souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe and Sitaram to everyone. And my humblest prostrations, my pranam to each and every one of you here this evening, tonight. We continue with the Katha Ram Gita. In this short Katha, we have heard so much. As I've mentioned before, there are 3 Gitas that are most famous. First, Bhagavad Gita, which is from Mahabharata, conversation, discussion between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjun. Then Uddhav Gita, 11 canto, Bhagavad Mahapuran, very long. Gita, Bhagavad Gita is just 700 shlokas, verses. Uddhav Gita is very long. It is Bhagavad Mahapuran. And then Ram Gita is short. But as I've been showing you, all these 3 Gita say the same thing. All the philosophy is there. Because Bhagavan himself has given the discourse. That's why it's called Gita. God is given lecture. Divine words. So, ek baad Raghunath bulaye, Guru Dvij Purvasi sab aaye. The Katha begins that once only. In the 11,000 years that the Lord, in the ascension of Sri Ram, he stayed in the world 11,000 years. When he came as Krishna, he stayed only 125 years. 11,000 years, and he spoke only once, gave lecture. Many places, different personalities asked him questions, and he answered. But here, he's given lecture. Everyone has been called, and he's given a lecture. So we have heard many, many wonderful things. So we continue tonight in this wonderful Katha. Let's hear what else the Lord says in that beautiful Katha of Ram Gita. जो परलोक यहाँ सुख चाहूं, जो परलोक यहाँ सुख मोरी बचन हृदय दृढ़ जय राम श्री जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम सुलभ सुखद यह मार्ग भाई हाथी मोरी पुराण श्रुति गाई जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। बोले सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। जाओ परलोक यहां सुख चाहूं मोरी बचन हृदय दृढ़ गाहूं। The Lord is saying now, those who want to attain happiness, sukh, here, yaha, and the hereafter, parlok. Then, mori bachan hridaya dirha gahu. Then, be very attentive. Very attentive, and listens to my words very carefully, deep in your heart, with great conviction. Dridha, with great conviction. Sukh, sukh. The ultimate aim of life is sukh, happiness. We all want only happiness. Why? Because we are a fraction of happiness. It's a natural law that every part, every fraction has a natural love for the whole and tries to become one with it. All rivers naturally flow to the ocean, being a fraction of the ocean. All flames of fire naturally rises upwards, being a fraction of the sun. In the same way, we, the individual souls, are eternal fractions of God. Mamaivansho jivaloke jiva bhutah sanatanah. Chapter 15, verse 7, Gita. Bhagavan Krishna says, the individual souls are eternal fractions, particles of myself. Sanatan. Ishvara ansha jiva avinashi. The soul is a fraction of the Lord. Indestructible. Avinashi. Eternal. So it means we all want only God, Shri Krishna. It's a natural law. And who is Krishna? What is Krishna? The Vedas tell us, Anando Brahmeti Vajanat Ananda Deva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante Anandina Jatani Jivanti Anandam Prayantya Bhisambhishanti. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 3, verse 6. The Vedas say that Shri Krishna, Bhagavan, God, is Anand. Anand means bliss, happiness. In other words, whether we say God or we say Shri Krishna or we say happiness, These are two names for one and the same entity. Paryayvachi Shabd. Simile. God is happiness and happiness is God. Thousands of places. But you will say, I have found happiness in the world. In wife, husband, children, motor car, bank balance, ice cream. That's not happiness. We do not understand what happiness means. The Vedas tell us, the Vedas give a definition for happiness. Yovai bhuma tat sukham bhumai va sukham. Chandogya Upanishad. That which is eternal, infinite, immeasurable, unmeasurable, beginningless is called sukh. Sukh, happiness. Once attained, it is possessed forever. We will never become separate from it ever again. We will never experience sorrow ever again. Such a thing we have never experienced. That same thing that gives you happiness ends up giving you sorrow in the same amount. In the separation from it or the loss of it. Besides, if you get happiness from ice cream, then you should never have to eat ice cream again. Just remember that happiness I got yesterday when I ate ice cream. Let me remember that happiness. I don't have to eat ice cream again. No. Because it is jad, enough. But the happiness of God, that supreme happiness, once attained, you will remember, you will experience forever. That is the happiness. So whether you want to attain it here, you don't have to wait to go to Bhagwan to get it. Not after you die and then go Golok, then you will experience happiness. Eko devah sarva bhuteshu gura sarva vyapi sarva bhutantaratma karma dhyaksha sarva loka divasa sakshi cheta kevalo nirgunascha. Shvetashvatara Upanishad, chapter 6, verse 11. The Vedas say, God pervades in each and every particle of the world. So there is infinite happiness in every particle of this world. Why are we not experiencing it? Because our instruments are damaged, they're bad. We don't have the right instrument. Every instrument we have in our possession is material, mic.
लगी मन जाई सो सब माया जानी है भाई जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम
गो गोचर जह लगी मन जाई so sab maya janehu bhai. That mind that we think with, that intellect that we understand with, the senses that we experience with, they are all under maya. They are material, mic. And God is beyond maya. In other words, divine God cannot be experienced by our material senses, mind and intellect. As long as we are under the Maya, control of Maya, as long as our senses, mind and intellect are material, God could be sitting right next to you. Nothing. You wouldn't know. Right next to you, He's sitting and you don't know. Don't think when you see God, you're going to see something special. Unless you have that special instrument. Even Arjun could not see. Bhagwan Shri Krishna kept telling Arjun, I am God, I am God. Arjun said, show me, he said. You say, and I want to see. The Lord said, you don't have the right eyes, then give me the right one. And so He had to give Divya Drishti, divine eyes. To see God, we need God's eyes. To hear God, we need God's ears. To smell God, we need God's nose. To taste God, we need God's tongue. To feel, touch God, we need God's skin. Before becoming divine, no one can experience God in any way. People say, to fool others, I see God, I see Lakshmi, I see. This is imagination. And people believe them. It's all nonsense. No one. Tulsidas makes it very clear in the Ramayana. Very, very clear.
चिदानंदमय देह तुम्हारी विगत विकारी ज्ञानी अधिकारी जय राम श्री राम
Chidanandamaya deha tumhari. Just as God is divine, what does divine mean? That which is not material is divine. That's as much as you can understand for now. What divine really mean, you will only understand when you become divine, your intellect, your mind. For now, just understand that which is not material is divine. So God's body, just as God is divine, His deha, His body is also divine. Everything is divine. And to see that divine body of God, bigata vikar. Vikar means Maya. Only one who has become free from Maya. Bigata vikar. No greed, no anger, no jealousy, no hatred, no lust. Completely pure. Bigata vikar jani adhikari. Adhikari means authorized, deserving. Then you will see. Before that, you will see, we have seen God. Whenever God has come in this world as Ram Krishna, we were there. Uncountable times. In our uncountable past lifetimes, we saw Him with material eyes, we saw Him as a material person, with all the shortcomings, defects, and faults, just like one of us. So, the happiness God pervades in every particle of the world. When you attain the right instrument, even here, Siya Ramamai Sabha Jagajani Karahu Pranam Jori Jugupani. In every particle of the world, you will see the Lord. In every particle, you'll experience that supreme divine bliss. Jit dekho tit sham mai hai. Everywhere you look, you will see the Lord. So happiness in the here and the hereafter. Sulabha sukhad yeh marak bhai. Mo bhakti mori puran shruti gai. And how to attain that happiness? One path only. One marg. There are many paths you've heard about. Mainly Gyan, Karm, Yog, Bhakti. The path of Gyan, knowledge. The path of Karm, Dharma, Vedic rites and rituals. Varnashram Dharma. The path of Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. And the path of Bhakti. But only one path works. Bhakti. Every path requires bhakti. Bhakti doesn't need anybody's help. Sulabh, it's very easy, this path. It is the easiest. Sukhad, it is the giver of happiness. It is the easiest path and the best. All the Vedas, Shruti, and all the Puranas, all the scriptures sing the glory of this path which is called Bhakti. This is the supreme path. People think Gyan is a supreme path. No, no. When you do Bhakti, you get Gyan. Bhakti has two children. One is Gyan and one is Vairagya. When you do Bhakti, automatically you will get knowledge. You don't get knowledge by reading book. When the heart purifies, when you shed tears for the Lord, selflessly, and the heart purifies, then knowledge comes. Automatically, just do Bhakti. The byproduct of Bhakti, Gyan, true knowledge, Vairagya, detachment. He continues to say,
Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Bolo Ram.
Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Ram, Siya Ram,
Jai Jai Ram.
Bhakti Swatantra Sakal Sukh Khani. Binu satsang, binu satsang na pavahi prani. Bol Ram,
Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Punya punja binu milahi na santa. Satsangati yah satsangati sansiti kar anta. Bol Ram,
Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Bol Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Bol Ram, Siya Ram,
Jai Jai Ram.
this is the best part of the Ram Gita we're coming to. He's almost finishing. He saves the best for the last. Bhakti Satantra Sakal Sukha Khani. Swatantra means independent, free. Bhakti is independent, free from every path. Bhakti does not require the help of any path. Whether it's Gyan, Yog, Karm, any path. Every path requires bhakti. Karm, as I told you many times, and sometime I will, if the opportunity arises, I will go in detail. There are 6 conditions to fulfill. Just to do a simple Havan, and all impossible in Kali Yuga. And even if someone can do it, the most you can get, Swarg, heaven. And as I explained, one lecture I give only on heaven, that the greatest fool, the scriptures tell us, the Vedas, the person who strives to go to heaven is the greatest fool. Now, if that same karma, you add bhakti, it becomes karma yoga. This is what Bhagavan Krishna is teaching in Gita. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhya cha. Chapter 8 verse 7 Gita. Arjun, tasmat sarveshu, at all place, kaleshu, at all time, mamanusmara, remember me lovingly, think about me lovingly, bhakti, and yudhya cha, fight the war. That is karma, dharma, do your duty. Duty, karma, plus bhakti, that is karma yoga. You see, if you do that, even if you make all the mistake in the ritual, no one can do, then you don't get any punishment. Because God notes only the bhakti. Your mind will be attached to Krishna. He knows only where the mind is. So you can do everything wrong physically. But because the mind is attached to Krishna, you will get the fruit of the bhakti only. So karma requires bhakti. Gyan, the most Gyan can do is give us self-realization. Atma Gyan. In Kali Yuga, impossible. I told you one night I talked about Maya, the night before, not last night, the one before that. And that there are 2 kinds of Maya, Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya. I told you Maya has 3 qualities, Sattva-gun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Rajogun plus Tamogun, that's a Vidya Maya. Sattva-gun, that is Vidya Maya. In ancient times, Dwapar Yuga, Treta, Satyug, great Jnanis, yogis were able to destroy Avidya Maya. They realize I am the soul, the Atma. But no one can destroy Sattva Gun, Vidya Maya. For that you need Kripa, God's grace. Bhagavan Krishna makes it clear many places in Gita. Daivi hesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metantarantite. Chapter 7 verse 14 Gita. Only the one who surrenders to me completely. Bhakti. Brahma bhutah prasannatmana shochati nakangshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. Chapter 18 verse 54 Gita. That Brahma bhut means Paramhans, self-realized, one who has realized I am the soul, the Atma, has become fit. This becoming fit doesn't mean he has attained everything. He has become fit to do something. What? Mad bhaktim labate param. To do my bhakti, the Lord says. He's incomplete. Atma Gyan. Many people in the Western world, because they don't understand, they say self-realization is God realization. That is total nonsense. All you have done, you have realized I am the soul. It's a very high knowledge. That person goes in samadhi. But the moment he opens his eyes, Vidya Maya takes hold of him and he falls down. Jab Jar Bharat, Paramhans, had to become a deer. He got attached to a deer. Self-realization. So, there is a higher knowledge. Bhaktya mami janati yavan yaschasmi tattvata tato mam tato gyata vishati tadanantaram. Chapter 18 verse 55 Gita. Bhagavan Krishna says, without bhakti, devotion, no one can attain Brahma Gyan, knowledge of God. That is the ultimate knowledge. Not Atma Gyan. That Gyani falls. So when you add bhakti, so Gyan alone will give you Atma Gyan. It's incomplete. But when you add bhakti, then it becomes Gyan Yog. That will give you Godization. Yog, the same thing. And bhakti doesn't need anybody. Swatantra bhakti alone will give the ultimate aim. So great is bhakti. But how to get bhakti? Binu sattasang na pavahi prani. Without sattasang. And this is where we have a big problem. Everything in the world we call satsang. People sing a little bit somewhere, we are going satsang. People go on somewhere and argue and are going satsang. What is satsang, bhaiya? Sat, sang, two words. Sang means association. To join, to bring together. Association, sang. Sat means sant, saint. Only when we associate with a saint, when you go and you listen to a saint or you associate with a saint, then you are doing satsang. Without the association of a saint, no one can attain bhakti. Very clear. Very clear. In the next line, it clarifies even further. Punya punja binu milahina santa. So here he's making it plain what sat means. Go home and read the Ramayana for yourself. Maybe you think I'm making this thing up. Punya punj. Punya means great religious merits. Punj means a big storehouse, huge amount. When we have done lots and lots of great deeds, devotion in our past life, we get an opportunity to meet a true saint. You don't meet saint like that. Punya punja binu milahina santa. And santa gati satsangati ke. Sansiti satsangati sansiti kar anta. Without associating with a true saint, this avagaman, this continuous cycle of birth and death, common in this world in the 8.4 million species, cannot be broken. Only when we go to a true saint, we can become free from this maya and attain the ultimate aim. We cannot do it by ourselves, and God is not going to do it for us. God has a condition. Nirmal man jana so mohi pava, mohi kapat chal chidra na bhava. Pure heart. Only those who are pure in heart can know me, see me, attain me. I cannot stand deception, deceit, fraud. In the Bible too it says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Pure heart. Before that he wants nothing. The most God can do for us before that is to give us the saint. A saint is so important. How to find a saint? We hear about the guru. This word guru. What is a guru? The Vedas tell us, Pariksha lokan karma chitan brahmanu nirveda mayan nasikatena tarvigyanartham sagurumeva bhigachet samitpani shotriyam brahmanishtham. Mundak Upanishad, first Mundak, second Kand, 12th mantra. The Vedas say you will need a guru, have to have a guru. But there are certain conditions. There are certain qualities that qualifies him to be guru. Same thing in the Bhagavad. Rahu ganai tat tapasa nayati nache jaya nirvapanar grihadva na chandasa naiva jalagni surya bina mahat padarajo bhishekam. Bharat is saying to Rahugan, King Rahugan. 5th canto, 12th chapter, 12th verse, Bhagavad Mahapuran. Jar Bharat is saying to Rahugan, King Rahugan, you can do all the dharma, all the varnashram dharma, all the havan, all the puja, tapasya, surrounded by the 5 fires, bathe in all the holy rivers, do all the tapasya. But if you don't bathe the heart, the mind with the dust of the lotus feet of the saint, you cannot find Krishna, God. Very clear. Tasmar Guru Papadeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam Shabde Parichanishnatam Brahman Upashamashrayam. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11th canto, 3rd chapter, 21st verse. Prabhuddha Maharaj, one of the 9 Yogishwars, is saying to Videhanimi, exactly, this is an exact translation of that Ved mantra I told you from Mundak Upanishad, 1st Mundak, 2nd Kand, 12th mantra. This is an exact translation. That yes, you need a guru. You have to go to the guru. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta, completely surrender. But how he has to be? Shabde pare chanishnatham. 2 things. The Vedas say Shrotriyam plus Brahmanishtham, 2 qualities. Shabde pare nishnatham. Without those qualities, he is not the guru. This qualifies him to be guru. Shotriya, first condition. Shotriya means he has knowledge of all the scriptures. Not just Ramayana, not just Gita, not just Puran. All the Vedas, all the scriptures, complete by heart. Plus, he can remove our doubts. Anybody can read a book and give lecture. Doesn't mean anything. The true guru, the true saint, he keeps looking. Have they understood what I have said? No, they haven't understood us yet. Okay, let me put it this way. Oh, they haven't understood us yet. Let me put it. Until the disciple doesn't understand, the guru doesn't go forward. His aim is not to show how knowledgeable he is, but to make you understand. He removes the doubts of uncountable lifetimes that we could not by ourselves, even if we have studied the Vedas and all the scriptures for uncountable lifetimes. Shotriya. But even more important, he has to be Brahmanishtham, means he has practical experience of God. He has attained God. He has seen Krishna. This is the most important qualification. In other words, if someone is illiterate, he doesn't know ABC, never gone to school, can't even write his name, but he has attained God. 99.9% of saints in Sanatan Dharma were illiterate. Very few were Sanskrit scholars. Jagat Guru Shankaracharya, Jagat Guru Nimbarkacharya, Jagat Guru Ramanujacharya, Jagat Guru Madhavacharya, Jagat Guru Kripaluji Maharaj. Mostly they were illiterate. Couldn't write their name even. But if they have attained godization, we can accept such a person as a guru. Why? Yasmin gyate sarvam vigyatam bhavati. Because the person who attains God automatically attains all knowledge. When you realize Krishna, everything he has, he gives to you. That's all. All the powers, every power. That's why there's no difference between God and a saint. Everything Krishna has, he gives to that soul. Everything. In the Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, Tadvir pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Chapter 4, verse 34. Tattvadarshinaha. One who has seen the Lord, who has seen that supreme entity, who has seen Krishna. This is the most important qualification. Not just you can give a lecture. One who has seen God, attained God. But how to know? This is very difficult. How are we going to find out if someone is a true saint, a God-realized soul? Mostly we people, we judge externally. Because we can't see on the inside, we look outwardly. Oh, people choose somebody, they look, oh, this fella sings very nice. I want him for my guru. He's young and handsome. That's guru. Outwardly, we don't look to see what is inside. Tulsidas says in the Ramayana.
लखत देखी वंचक जे देश प्रताप पूजी अहि ते लखी सुवेश जय वंचक जे देश प्रताप पूजी अहिते जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
लखी सुवेश जगवंचक जेऊ Vesha Pratap Puji Ahitehu. Tulsidas, he says, because we're not under the army, we can't see on the inside. The simple people, naive people in the world, seeing imposters, frauds, in the outward garb of God-men, wearing clothes, yellow clothes, white clothes, whatever. Accept them as saints and start worshipping them. Vesha Pratap Puji Ahitehu. But they get nothing. And that's how we judge. Yes, we know we have to have a guru. Oh, when I was small, you have to get Christian, you need a guru. Okay, I didn't know. I said, okay, fine, chalo. But it wasn't a guru. That's not a guru. I found a guru eventually. You don't get guru like that. So it's extremely difficult. Why? Because there are four kinds of people in the world. Char prakar ke log hai. There are two kinds of worldly people, materialistic people, two kinds of imposters, frauds, and there are two kinds of genuine saints, God-realized souls. Who are the first type of imposters? Worldly soul. These people, they have all the faults inside of them. They are material. They have all the faults: greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust. And they make no attempt to hide these vices from the world. Whatever is inside, you see on the outside. Most of us belong to this category. So it's very easy to recognize the first kind of imposter. What is inside is outside. The second kind of imposter, fraud, are those who are materialistic, worldly, dirty, bad on the inside, and pretend to be saints on the outside. They're very, very careful to hide their worldliness behind the characteristics or signs of a God-man. White clothes, yellow clothes, orange clothes, long hair, long beard, no hair, no beard, all kind of mark on the forehead, all kind of mala. And yet there was nothing saintly about them. It is very difficult to recognize a second kind of imposter because they are very good actors. You curse them, abuse them, and they laugh as though nothing. You will think this has to be a saint. In the same way, there are two kinds of genuine saints, true saints, God-realized souls. The first type are those who are the same on the inside as well as the outside. In other words, they are always absorbed in the divine bliss of God, Radha Krishna, on the inside. And they make no pretense to be worldly on the outside. They are always in the divine bhav. But it's extremely difficult to recognize this. Very few saints, have been of this type. Very few. Almost none. The majority, 99.99% of saints, have been of the second type. Who are these? They are always absorbed in divine bliss, divine love for God on the inside, yet pretend to be worldly on the outside. They are always in that communion with God, divine. Yet they are so careful to hide their divinity and act in such a manner as to make us believe them to be even more worldly than ourselves. It is very difficult to recognize the second kind of saint, as they are very careful to hide their love for Radha Krishna, for God. Gopaniyam, Gopaniyam, Gopaniyam Prayatnataha. Nobody should know. That's why only by God's grace or the grace of a saint you can recognize him. You can't understand him. You cannot understand it. Just as you can't understand Krishna, you can't understand the saint. You can recognize, but only through the grace of God. Tulsidas Ji says in the Ramayana,
बिनु सत्संग विवेक होई, राम कृपा बिनु लभन सोई।
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
अब मोहि भाव, अब मोहि भाव भरोसु हनुमंता, बिनु हरि कृपा मिलहि नहीं संता। जय राम श्री राम जय
जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
without the association, binu satsang, I told you, satsang means associating with a saint. Without associating with a true saint, one doesn't attain true knowledge. Knowledge comes from the saint. Binu satsang vivekan hoi. True knowledge. But how are you going to get that satsang? Rama kripa binu sulabhana soye. Without God's grace, you cannot find the saint. Ab mohi bha bharosa hanumanta, binu hari kripa milahi nahi santa. Vibhishan is saying to Hanuman, oh Hanuman, I have full faith that without the grace of Hari, God, Shri Krishna, Ram, I could not meet a saint. I cannot meet you, Hanuman. You don't meet a saint like that. And how do you get God's grace? Punya punja. Then God will shower. When you do, you have many, many lifetimes of bhakti devotion, God showers His grace. Punya punja binu milahina santa. Oh, we have gurus by the millions. Everybody is a guruji. Only to make chela. You become my chela and you my chela. Line up everybody. And whether you go and become worse than you were before, doesn't matter. You make a chela and you don't even see guruji again. Or when it's Guru Purnima, send the Dakshina. We don't even know what is Guru. Gum, three definitions for the word Guru in the scriptures. Gum rauti iti Guru, grinati jnana iti Guru, girati ajnana iti Guru. Gu means agyan, the darkness, the ignorance of Maya, Greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust, not knowing who am I. Identifying with the body. That is gu, maya. In other words, maya. Ru means the divine knowledge, divine light of God, Bhagavan, Krishna. So Ru means God, Krishna. One who can take away maya and give you Krishna. That is a guru. Who can do that, bhaiya? Krishna say, only me. Daivi hesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya. My maya. Maya is my power and it's a divine power. And mameva ye prapadyante. Only the one who completely surrenders to me will I tell Maya can become free from Maya. In other words, only when Bhagavan tells Maya, leave. This one is mine, now leave. Then Maya will go. It's his power. So somebody has to be equal to Bhagavan. To take away Maya. And that is a saint. As I told you, one who realizes God, Shri Krishna gives him all his power. He has become free from Maya. Now he can free others. When you yourself is under Maya, how? You are bounded. How can you make somebody else free? Huh? You yourself is in darkness. How can you give light? You yourself is suffering. How can you give true happiness? We can only give to someone what we have ourselves. If I myself am a beggar, what can I give to anybody else? And that's what we do. We are beggars and we go to others who are beggars. Just like our worse than us sometimes. Only because he sings nice or he looks handsome or some kind. What is inside we don't know. So it's difficult. Why does the saint do that? You may ask the question, why does he hide himself? Well, if a saint were to always remain in that divine bliss of Krishna, in bhav, he wouldn't even look at us. If you've ever seen a saint in bhav, in that divine bhav, I have seen. Nothing around him. Even a Atma Jnani, a little Jnani who has attained Atma Jnana only, nothing he experiences in the world. See nothing, hear nothing, smell, taste. That's what Paramhans mean. One who has attained Krishna and absorbed in the bliss, he wouldn't even see us. You can't ask him any question. He's not even going to look at you. How are you going to benefit? So he has to control that infinite ocean of divine love. It's very difficult. He has to control it. He has a special power. God and the saints have a special power. What is that power? It is called Yog Maya. Not Maya, Yog Maya. Kartum akartum manyatha kartum samartha Ved. That power which makes the impossible possible. It's also called Durga. It's called Radha. God and the saints, a saint has that power also. Through that power, the saint can remain in the reality, in the divinity, supremely pure, divine on the inside, yet perform all the works of Maya on the outside. He has no greed, but can seem to be performing actions of greed, taking money from you for your benefit. No lust, but can seem to be performing action of lust. No anger, but can be seen to be performing action of anger. Durvasa Muni son, saint. Krishna made him his guru. And yet everybody is scared of Durvasa's ahanga. A saint can get angry? No, he cannot. This is Yog Maya. This is not easy to understand. It's very difficult. That's why we don't benefit when we meet a saint. Because we expect him to act a certain way, be a certain way. And he's beyond that. We hear that Prahlad, soon we're going to, yesterday you planted Holika, some people. Right? In a month time you're going to celebrate Holi. So we hear the Katha of Prahlad, that great Bhakt. A little child, he attained God realization. Yet Prahlad got married. He ruled the earth for one kalp. He ruled the whole universe for one kalp. What is one kalp? I told you a few nights ago. 306,720,000 years. He ruled the entire world. One kalp. As a king, he had to perform many kind of action, fight in war, everything. Plus, he married, he had child, he had a son. Children? Where did the child come from? Fall from the sky? No, it came from the womb of the mother. Then Prahlad is just like me. How can you have a child without lust? You see, because we have lust. When we have children in the world, we perform lust. So we can't understand a stage where someone can perform the action of lust yet have no lust. Even a little child, 3-4 years old child, can't understand how both parents can claim to be his parents, can be the parent, the one who produced him, because he has no knowledge of lust in his mind as yet. Even if the greatest scholars in the world would try to make that child understand, they will not understand. Instead, he's likely to think both parents are lying to him. When even material knowledge cannot be understood by material mind, then how do we expect to understand divine knowledge with material mind? It's not easy to understand. I give you a little katha. Once, there was a great saint called Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He lived during the time of descension of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But he lived such a luxurious life of great comfort and luxury, such a life that it was impossible, almost impossible to believe that he was a saint. Even the devotees, the disciples of Gauranga Mahaprabhu could not understand him. Once, one of the disciples, Mukund, went to visit Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and another disciple accompanied him. When they reached there, he lived all in a place, his house was like a palace. He slept on a golden bed with silken sheets. He wore silken clothes. He put perfume oil in his hair and was chewing betel leaf palm. And in that house, in that palace, all the servants was only girls, no men. All girls. So Mukund, together with the other disciple, they came and they saw Pundarik Vidyanidhi lying comfortably in the bed, chewing the span, and two girls fanning him gently on either sides. Seeing that, the disciple, the other one, Mukund understood. The other one, he became totally confused. He wondered, how could such a person, absorbed, surrounded by such luxury and comfort, be a saint? To him, a devotee of God meant one who was totally detached from the world, as he himself was totally detached from the world ever since he began practicing devotion right from his childhood. He started to doubt. Nama Prahat, one of the greatest sin you can commit, unpardonable. Doubt a saint. Mukund immediately saw what was happening to him, and he chanted a beautiful verse from Bhagavad Mahapuran. Aho vakiyam stanakal kutam jighansaya payayadapya sadhvi lebhe gatim dhatuchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam brajem. This verse says, who else can be so merciful, in whom I can take complete shelter, other than the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, who gave that wicked witch Putana a foster mother's high place in glory in his divine abode, even though she had come to suckle the divine child Krishna with a poisonous breast. The moment Pundarik heard this beautiful slok, he fell unconscious from the bed. Unconscious. All the divine signs, the sattvic bhav, were manifested in him. Stambha svedo tarumancha swarabhedo tavepatu vaivarnyamashru pralay ityastau satvika smitaha bhakti samit sindhu. These are 8 symptoms of divinity. Stambha becomes still like a tree. Svedot starts perspiring profusely. Romansh, all the pores on the body raises on end. Swarabhed, the voice changes. Vaivarnya, the color of the skin changes. Vepatu shivers like a leaf. Ashru, tear starts flowing continuously like a river. Pralay becomes unconscious as though dead. All the symptoms was manifested in him. That person who was lying like a prince before in the bed was now in a disheveled state. Seeing Pundarik Vidyanidhi, the disciple immediately realized his mistake and surrendered to him, accepting him as his guru. So it's not easy to see and recognize. Even the disciples couldn't understand of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But we have to. You have to find a real saint, a true saint, in order to attain. We become deserving. There's a way to attain it. You have to do bhakti. What is the bhakti we have to do? As I said, the Lord has saved the best for the last. tomorrow night we'll hear more about his bhakti that will help us to find a true Guru who will give us Radha Krishna, the supreme love of Radha Krishna. बोले श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की, सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की, लाडली लाल की। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। Before we go into Aarti, because of the inclement weather, I didn't want to go all the way to 9 o'clock, as I've been doing almost every night. And I know that this must have prevented many people from coming, as Uncle Raju said. Plus, I think there are a number of people having puja and all that around the area. Anyhow, those of us who are here, we are indeed very blessed. Thank you for coming and braving the inclement weather. It's a great blessing.